for joining me at ClearTouch. Today we're going to take a quick look at the hardware, the software on the 6000K series panel. Now when you go to our website, you're going to see two main panels in our lineup. I'll show you what those look like. So the 6000K series panel is an infrared or IR touch-based panel, and our new 7000 series is a capacitive touch panel. That same touch technology is like your iPhone or your iPad, where that glass goes all the way to the outer edge. So the 6000 series is currently available in an 86-inch, a 75, and a 65, and that 7000 series is available in a 55 and a 65. And that 7000 series is one that you can pair that with our convertible stand. That's going to allow you to do the height adjustment as well as put it into tabletop mode. I'll show you what that looks like a little later on in the presentation, but right now we're going to focus on the 6000 series. So this is an industrial grade panel, and of course all of our panels have a layer of 4mm tempered glass. Very rugged, very durable, can withstand 250 pounds of pressure per square inch. So again, if you pair it with a mobile stand, you can wheel it from room to room, rearrange the classroom or in your conference room. Very rugged, very durable product. So I have the optional Windows 10 slot PC that's outfitted into the side of my panel. I'll show you what that looks like. It just slides right in, integrates directly, so there's no cables or anything. You can connect that to your Wi-Fi network. You can go ahead and hardwire that to your network as well. And again, I'm just running the Windows 10 Pro software, so that's going to allow you to install any other productivity software, Office 365. I run Zoom rooms on my panel. That's a great option for video conferencing, GoToMeeting. You're just going to be able to load any of that software just like you're currently using on your existing laptop or desktop PC. So this really can be kind of the media hub front and center of your classroom or your conference room. Kind of one tip and trick to change inputs and navigate. If I just swipe my finger up on the screen from the ClearTouch logo, you see it brings up all of those inputs. And we now have 3 HDMI inputs, VGA input for maybe older legacy laptops. I do have that optional PC that's installed, so that's coming up as an input for me. But we'll jump over real quick. We'll take a look at the Android operating system. So we now have some of the fastest processors in the market. This is now upgraded to run Android version 8, and it really acts as the operating system. So it handles all my on-screen touch control functions. Again, those input menus, the ability to change volume control and maybe screen brightness along with that as well. But a couple of pieces of software on the Android side that come pre-installed. So you can always, of course, go to the ClearTouch store. That's going to allow you to download and install just about any kind of various applications. So if I want to maybe give a PowerPoint presentation, I can install PowerPoint. Maybe I want to have some fun with my students in class, I can install Kahoot. Just click that green install button. It's going to download and install just like an Android app on your phone or tablet. Now, one thing to keep in mind as I go through all the software here, all the software is included with the panel. There's no recurring subscription fees. There's no ongoing charges. And that's a big differentiator between ClearTouch and some of our competitors out there in the marketplace. Of course, we do have basic whiteboarding software on the Android side. So this is our Easy Note software, really just meant to jump in, take some quick notes, and save and share that content out. So all of our whiteboarding software is going to have the same basic use and functionality to where I can go in and change between pen and brush, change my line weighting, maybe change color if I want to. And of course, ClearTouch panels feature that 20 points of touch. So that means you can have multiple people up here writing, erasing, interacting at the same time. It also recognizes gesture erasing. So for example, if I want to kind of clear this out, I don't even need to change tool sets down here. If I just go ahead and flatten my hand, it automatically turns into an eraser for me. So very easy and simple. But then if I do grab this hand tool down in my toolbar, that's going to allow me to put it into infinite canvas mode. So now I can kind of pinch and zoom, manipulate that content, maybe bump it up off the screen. So if I'm maybe in class or in a meeting, I'm taking notes, I start to run out of space, I can just grab that hand tool, bump that content right up, grab my pen tool again, and then just continue on with my list. So once I get some content populated up there, we give you a couple of ways to share this out and save it. So if I come over to my menu settings over here, in this case, maybe I want to export that out, maybe just quickly save it as a PDF file. But we've also now incorporated cloud storage. So now I'm exporting everything out on my infinite canvas, and that's going to allow me to add my own Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive account and save that whiteboarding content so I can share it out that way. So just a quick way to jump in, take some quick notes, and save and share that content. Of course, we do have our wireless screen sharing software, our ClearTouch Collage software that's built into the panel. One really cool upgrade is on our older version, I can only show 4 devices at one time. Now I can show up to 6 devices on my 4K high definition screen. So this works for any operating system. So it doesn't matter if you're a PC user, a Mac user, maybe I want to screen share my iPad or my iPhone, Android devices, and of course, for that K-12 education market. Google Chromebooks are now supported with this as well. So real quickly, I'll show you how this works because we put a built-in user guide to help you get connected quickly. So on your laptop, all you need to do is just download the Sender application at that website, collage.getcleartouch.com. And then once you have that installed, just make sure you're connected to the same network. So in this case, I'm on my network here at the studio on my laptop as well as the panel. And if I type in that 6-digit code, that's going to allow me to then screen share my device. So now I can just type in that number 491805. And now it tells me that my laptop's immediately connected to the panel, and I really just have one simple option. That's to start mirroring or screen sharing my device. So that's going to allow you to pull up any kind of lesson plan, any kind of meeting notes, any kind of content that you already have prepared already on your device or your laptop, screen share that directly at the panel. And what's really great about our screen sharing software is when I screen share with a PC or a Mac, I'm now going to have that full wireless touch control capability over that device. So that's going to allow you to manipulate any kind of content. I can pull up any maybe existing meeting notes or anything like that as well. So of course, as another device connects in, it'll go into split screen mode all the way up to showing 6 devices on the screen at any one time. Another nice feature about the ClearTouch panel is this little sidebar tool I'm moving up and down on the side. That's always going to be there and accessible because not only does that give me some navigation features, but in this case I'll grab that pen annotation overlay tool, maybe go in here and change colors if I wanted to. So now while I'm screen sharing my software, my laptop to the panel, that's going to allow me to go in and annotate, kind of mark up and highlight any content very quickly onto my panel as well. Maybe I want to save that with those annotation markups. I can expand that toolbar out. And in this case, I'll select that little cloud icon right there because now I'm taking a screenshot of not only my laptop contents, but that annotation overlay. And that's going to allow you to save that file to your Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive account as well with that. So you're always going to have that ability to wirelessly screen share. It doesn't matter what operating system device you have. Again, a PC, a Mac, Android device, iOS device, Chromebook. And you're always going to have that annotation overlay tool set at your fingertips. So we'll jump over to the PC side of the panel because for me, this is really where I spend the majority of the time on the ClearTouch panel with all the software, again, that's included, no subscription fees on the panel. So I've jumped back over to the PC side of the panel, and one piece of software I'd like to show you, especially that's being heavily utilized right now in these times, is our Easy Capture software. So this allows me to create an MP4 video file of anything that's on my screen. So imagine recording that classroom lecture, training videos, any kind of content like that as well. So I've launched the software. I'll go ahead and hit the record button, and I'll go full screen for you on my panel because in this case, I've actually taken one of our ClearTouch HD web cameras and I've attached that to one of my USB inputs on that PC. So now I got that camera over here off to the side. I'll kind of put that up there as a teacher cam or a presenter cam. I can come over here, hit the big red record button. That's going to give me a nice countdown. And now everything I do on my panel is being recorded as an MP4 video file. So maybe in this case, I want to pull in some content. I want to launch our Note software, which is another more powerful whiteboarding software here on the PC side. Again, I'm going to have more processing power, a little more RAM at my fingertips here on the PC side of the panel. So again, I have a little more robust pen tool sets here. I can always change between that brush and line weighting. Again, maybe change color. Remember, you're always going to have that 20 points of touch. You're always going to have that gesture erasing at your fingertips, regardless of what whiteboarding software. But why I like working in Note is, say I want to import various file types, maybe a multi-page PowerPoint document or a PDF file. I can do that, and then as I mark that up and annotate, that annotation is going to stick and scale with each one of those pages. So I'll come over to my menu settings here, and in this case, I'm going to say I want to import a file. And let me see, I got some dinosaur number addition, subtraction lesson plan here that I pulled up with this. And again, you can bring in any kind of content that you want to. So this allows me to step through various pages in this multi-page PowerPoint or PDF document here. So in this case, maybe I want to go ahead and grab that pen tool, and I'm just going to kind of answer these questions here real quickly. Whoop, that wasn't very good. There we go. 5, 8, 6, 9, 8, and 10. So now I can advance to the next slide, fill this out. But if I revert back to what I just did, you can see how that annotation actually sticks and scales with this document. Or maybe, for example, I want to go ahead and import maybe a drawing package or anything like that. I can go back to my desktop, go to my media files here, and I believe I got some drawings here So yeah, I can pull in some sample building plans, for example. Again, just a multi-page PDF document, so maybe I want to give this out to my CAD engineers to maybe change up some of this content as well. So again, I can pull up that pen tool, and as I mark this document up, I can advance to the next page, maybe make some modifications a little bit to this house plan right here. And I kind of like that elevation right there. And again, you can see how that annotation sticks with each one of those pages. So now maybe I want to save and share this out. I can come back to my menu settings, and in this case I want to maybe export this out. I can save it as a Word document, maybe convert it to a PowerPoint file. In this case, maybe just save it as another PDF document, give it a new file name, and that annotation is going to be saved on top of that as well. So in this case, I'm going to say, no, I just want to exit out because we're still recording our video, right? We were capturing that the whole time. So now I can select my easy capture. I'll tell it to stop. It's going to bring up a nice video preview of what we just recorded. I'll go ahead and take that full screen there. So now I have a couple of options. I can either kind of pause this and scroll through my timeline, see what we did here real quickly, kind of spot check that. And of course that webcam from ClearTouch, it has a noise canceling microphone integrated with it, so it's going to capture your audio as you're going along as well. And I have a couple of options. I can either just export this file out, just save it as is, but we've also put a built-in editor in with the software also. So now I can drag that video that we just recorded, throw that down into the timeline. Maybe I want to add a title page or insert additional media files. I can certainly do that. I can add other JPEG files, graphics, other MP4 video files, and then once I have that timeline built out the way I want to, then I can come up here and say export. That's going to allow me to render out that timeline and save it as that MP4 video file, so I can populate it to shared storage, cloud storage, maybe a YouTube page. So it's just a great way to be able to do that full video capture of anything that's on your ClearTouch panel with that easy capture software. So now we're going to take a look at our flagship K-12 education software. This is our Snowflake multi-teach software, but regardless if it's an education setting, higher ed, or even a corporate conference room, I love working in this software because this is where I have that power to split my ClearTouch panel into multiple zones. So I can have different applications open all at my fingertips, really making use of this 4K high definition screen. As a matter of fact, that template there on the far right hand side with those inverted arrows, that's to get it into that tabletop mode. So again, I was talking about earlier with that 7000 series panel with that convertible stand, that's going to allow you to put it into that tabletop mode, split it into 4 zones and 4 quadrants. Several months ago I was at a convention. We had some students, some parents, some teachers all huddled around the ClearTouch panel working on their own activity, and that's really where that 20 points of touch is going to come into play, and maybe like a media center type of situation with that. So a great unique use to be able to utilize on that 7000 series panel with ClearTouch. So I'll jump back to the zones in just a second, but I did want to show you some features within our multi-teach software. Now it's laid out on the spindle design, so as I kind of spin things around here, you see that we've left some fun STEM lab content. I have some miscellaneous games. You can always add in your favorite bookmark websites that you frequent. Maybe you start to build out your own lesson plans. You can get those there at your fingertips as well. Now how I navigate in this software is if I come over here, these little Q icons in the lower left and right hand corner, that's going to allow me to bring up all of my menu settings. So maybe, for example, I'm in a corporate conference room environment and I want to jump over to secondary mode, and in this mode I've customized this to be more appropriate for a conference room setting. So I can change the wallpaper background on here, I can add and remove in programs. I still have that power to split my panel into multiple zones with that as well. For this demo, I'm just going to jump back over to elementary mode and show you a couple of the features with this, because I'd like to talk about our Canvas software. This is probably the whiteboarding software I utilize the most when I'm working on the ClearTouch panel, creating really rich, robust multimedia presentations. Again, always going to have that ability to change that brush, that pen tool, change my line weighting. I'm going to have that multi-touch. I'm still always going to have that gesture erasing ability. And in this case, if I grab that selection tool, that's what allows me to put it into that infinite canvas mode. But not only can I use it as a whiteboard, but just like I did with that note software earlier, in this case, I'm going to be able to bring in live web browsers. So keep in mind that we give you this software, so if you want to install it on your own laptop, on your own PC or Mac, you can do that. You can build out content ahead of time and then save it and then be able to open it here on your ClearTouch panel. So maybe today, for example, we're going to talk about planets. So I'm going to go out and just start grabbing some various web pages and websites that are appropriate to whatever we're working on that day. So now as this loads, Now I can kind of bring this website in. I can pinch and zoom and kind of resize that. Maybe on this page right here, I'm going to talk about, we're going to do a quick search for space. There we go. So now I can start grabbing any kind of website based on that search that I did. I'll bring in this space.com website. If I deselect or click off of that, that's going to allow me to kind of resize that window. If I click on that website, it's going to bring up a toolbar that allows me to take it full screen. Of course, I can scroll through it. I can always annotate and pull up that pen tool if I wanted to. But not only can I bring in any kind of various web page or website, but down here, if I select the media icon, that's going to allow me to then search on the internal storage on my PC, or if you have your PC laptop or a Mac connected, you'll be able to go in and find any kind of files and import that. So I can bring in a PowerPoint document, a Word file, an Excel spreadsheet, maybe a video clip, looping GIF files, maybe if I wanted to. As a matter of fact, we've now given you the ability to go ahead and link your cloud storage. So if you use Dropbox, Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, in this case, maybe I wanted to link my Google Drive account. That's going to just allow me to go and put in my username and password, and I'm going to have access to all my cloud storage. In this case, I'm going to pull up my keyboard. I'm going to do a quick internet search because I want to add some images and some pictures to my canvas layout with this. So if I just type in the word planets, for example, I can go out and it's going to do a Google image search so that I can grab something fun to be able to pull into my layout. So let me see. Now this one looks fun. So now I can resize that, place that wherever I want to. Again, I have this infinite canvas that I can work with here. So plenty of room, plenty of space. But not only can I bring in any kind of media file type, any kind of images, but one thing that people love now, the aspect that we've now given you the ability up here at the top, I can select YouTube. So now I can pull up that keyboard one more time, type in that word planets one more time, and now that's going to allow me to pull a YouTube video directly into my interactive canvas. So again, I can pull in maybe this planet song, that one looks fun, and hit the play button. That video is going to just start playing right away for me. And again, another cool thing that you might not have noticed is when I import a YouTube video into my canvas, we figured out a way to strip all the commercial content out of that as well. So again, I can take that full screen if I wanted to, maybe turn my volume down a little bit. I can pause that. I can always pull up that pen tool, annotate, highlight anything that I wanted to along with that as well. And then as I come over here to the side, I can hit the plus button. That's going to bring up page 2. Now we're kind of creating a flip chart presentation. So on the K-Series panel, it does come with an accessories box. You're going to get a remote control, all your touch control cables, as well as an HDMI cable, a couple of styluses. These are what I call non-active styluses, so no batteries required or anything. They just magnetically attach back to the front of the panel. You see, I'm kind of lazy. Sometimes people like to use the styluses. So in this case, maybe I'll change colors because on page 2, we're going to take some notes real quick, and you can see how fast and responsive our whiteboarding is. But meanwhile, if I jump back to what I was just working on before, it's going to automatically refresh and reload all those web pages, all that content's still there. So again, I can build this out on my laptop ahead of time, or I can build it right here at the panel. This is going to allow me to go in, maybe do a save as and save it back to the internal storage on my PC. I can give it a file name, maybe export it out as a PDF file, maybe as a digital handout after a meeting or after class to be able to share out with that also. So again, very, very powerful software with this Canvas application. But for me, the real power is the fact that I can have multiple applications open in multiple zones. So a lot of times in my demos and even in real life, I like to use this 3-zone template here that I've created. So I can pull this up because this is going to allow me to still have my whiteboarding, right? I can still have my interactive canvas over here. So I can use that as a scratch pad for some notes maybe. And then maybe over here, we're going to launch an online lesson activity that I worked on the night before in that zone. And then down here, maybe a YouTube video to kind of tie all of that together. So now that I've created 3 separate zones, I have that same menu capability within each zone. So if I want to maybe take my lessons online full screen, I can certainly do that, minimize that back down again. So I wanted to touch on our lessons online for our K-12 education market. We've topped out at over 150,000 lessons that are available to you. We now have a web component of this available as well. And you can go to that website. All you need to do is launch a browser, have your laptop connected to the internet, and go to snow.live, S-N-O-W.live. That's going to take you to the web portal, so you don't even need to have the software installed. And the way this works is when you purchase a ClearTouch panel, you're going to get 5 user licenses with each panel. So that's going to allow teachers and educators to create their own lessons online account. So whether they're working at home, they can log in, edit a lesson plan, create a new lesson plan. It's going to save to their account. So when they come into the classroom the next morning, they log into their account and all their lessons are going to be synchronized and ready to go for next day's class. I can even create new lesson activities if I want to. So when I choose that, we give you 16 different templates to choose from. So very, very powerful software. And this is where we encourage you to get with our professional development department. ClearTouch has 6 or 7, I believe now, on-staff educators that are former teachers and instructors, and they could really help guide you through lessons online, how to create that content, and really how to utilize and make the most of that software. So again, very, very powerful software. All the software is included with the ClearTouch panel. Again, no additional charges or subscription fees with that also. So a couple other things to keep in mind is when you go to our getcleartouch.com website, you're going to be able to do a couple of things. Number one, that's where you can always sign up for a free online demo. You can join myself, you can join my partner Steve in his studio. But if you go to our support tab, that's going to allow you to do a couple of things. So number one, this is where you're going to be able to download all of our software. So if you want to install that on your own device, you can. Of course, you can always put a support ticket in. Our help desk guys, they're great. We have a 95% answer rate when you give them a call, so give them a call and they'll be happy to help you out. But more importantly, we also offer ClearTouch Academy. So what ClearTouch Academy is it's learn at your own pace video tutorials on all the software that I just ran through very quickly. There's no charge for this. It's available 365 days a year. So you could just jump in here and, for example, how did I screen share my laptop to the panel? Watch through that Collage app lesson plan. It's going to show you exactly how to do that. Or how did I add a YouTube video into my Snowflake canvas? Again, great content on here, all at your fingertips. You can pause those videos, work at your own pace. So it's a great resource for you to be able to utilize with the ClearTouch Academy. So a couple other things you'll notice on our website that you might want to consider is that every ClearTouch panel comes with a standard fixed wall mount that is included. And then you'll see a couple of variations of our height adjustable and fixed height mobile stands, allow you to wheel that panel from location to location. That one right there is height adjustable motorized. And then everybody's favorite, I think, is going to be that convertible stand. Again, it's going to allow you to lay that panel flat, put it into tabletop mode. That's that 7000 series panel, so you can kind of see a little bit of difference how that capacitive touch technology, the glass goes all the way to the outer edge. But this kind of paints a mental picture for you of what it looks like as it's going into that tabletop mode, split out into 4 zones and 4 quadrants with that. So a great use and a unique way to be able to utilize the ClearTouch panel in that regard. So I hope that this was helpful for you. Thanks for joining me, and check us out online at getcleartouch.com.